Greetings and welcome back to For Fun Friday, where I, your somewhat gracious host, manages to forget very crucial key cards to include in the deck, yet still somehow manage to win anyway. This week, we're having a look at, I assume, a fan favorite, considering it once again getting reprinted in gold. We're playing Eldlich. Now, as always, do remember that my deck skills are fairly limited and most of the things I create are my own. This happens to be one such creation. We are playing Zombie Control Eldlich featuring Dragoon and the boys, simply because, why wouldn't we? Eldlich is getting a freaking JoJo reprint. How could we not abuse this? Please, the algorithm. Regardless of that, we are going to essentially try and control the board using Eldlich and our multitude of zombie-based tools in order to prevent our opponent from doing just about anything. If that doesn't work, we have Super Poly, which is just ridiculous. Regardless, let's quickly go over the deck so you have somewhat of an idea of what we're trying to accomplish. First of all, we're playing the two Eldlich, the Golden Lord himself, being a 3,500 beatstick on legs that can't be destroyed by card effects most of the time. He is really great. I mean, Eldlich has that whole archetype to himself, and he's super easy to splash into stuff, so hey, go wild. In terms of the zombies, we're playing Doom King Baladrock, being probably the best zombie card in the game, to be perfectly honest. Not only does he allow you to non-target banish a card, he also allows you to negate a monster effect once per turn, both effects once per turn, as long as it's a zombie monster, which for zombies is super easy to accomplish thanks to Zombie World. Regardless, we're playing one Gozuki and one Mizuki, simply for extending purposes. We're playing 3 Necroworld Banshee, because this can be banished from the field or graveyard to instantly play Zombie World, which is great. We're playing 3 Shiranui Solitaire, only to summon one of our 3 Unizombie, which is our main starter for the deck that does just about everything we need it to do, and this boy is great. Then we're also playing one Glow Up Bloom, because thanks to Halki Fibrex's effect, wherever I put him, he's right there, you can get a free Baladrock onto the board just by summoning Halki Fibrex. It's quite ridiculous, actually. Then, for our last 2 monsters, of course, we're playing Red Eyes Black Dragon and Dark Magician, as well as our 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, which I don't count as monsters, they're hand traps. In terms of spells and stuff, we're playing Foolish Burial and Harpy's Feather Duster, simply because if we're going second, we don't want to have to deal with back row. 1 Red Eyes Fusion for obvious reasons. 1 Called by the Grave, because if there is anything we're incredibly weak to, it is getting our Unizombie hand trapped. 2 Super Polymerization to clear the board and just do absolute shenanigans. 3 Cursed Outland, because this does everything the Eldlich archetype wants it to do. And 3 Zombie World. Then our trap lineup. We are a control deck, so traps are kind of the main play of the game here. 3 Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine that allows us to special summon a zombie monster, which if we already control Eldlich, we can bring out a Doom King Baladrock this way. We have 3 Infinite Impermanence to act as our 6 hand traps, I guess. I mean, do you count Ash Blossom as 1 hand trap or 3 because you're running 3? I don't know. This brings us up to 6 at least, and it's a trap that's very useful. 2 Conquistador of the Golden Land to allow us to pop a card on the field as long as we control Eldlich. 2 Hekeru of the Golden Land in order to banish a card as long as we control Eldlich. And 2 Rivalry of Warlords, which creates the funniest lockout ever made. With Zombie World and Rivalry of Warlords on the board, you can only special summon zombie monsters ever. You don't have any zombie monsters in your extra deck? Tough shit, you're never summoning anything else ever again. It's quite entertaining. Then for our extra deck, we are playing 3 Super Polymerization targets. Storming Venom Fusion Dragon is the most common one, requiring only 2 darks. Drago Necro Nether Soul Dragon, requiring 2 zombie monsters, which, as long as Zombie World is on the field, will be all of them. And Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord, requiring an Eldlich monster and a level 5 or higher zombie. Mad Golden Lord is really interesting, because it is a permanent snatch steal, but it can't attack or use its effect this turn, but every turn after that, it can. It's quite nice, honestly. I mean, Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord has its uses, but it's just really hard to get out because you have to sack one of your Eldliches for it, but it's there. Then, of course, the Dragoon, because no control package is done without the best card in the game. Then, for our links, Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess, for obvious reasons, it's Appaloosa. We have 2 finishers in the deck outside of Dragoon. We got Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax, simply because it's one of my favorite Link 4s, and it's just good. And a strange one, Topologic Bomber Dragon. What we struggle with the most is ending the game on a board state that's fairly even. We need to pull into either our Dragoon or into Super Poly in order to break the board to punch through, but Bomber Dragon does a very interesting mechanic in whenever he destroys a monster by battle, the opponent takes damage equal to the attack of the destroyed monster. This can get really good as a sort of pseudo burn finisher if you need just that little bit of extra damage to clear the board. You could also play Boral Sword, but Boral Sword is harder for us to summon because it requires 3 monsters on the board and Topologic only requires 2. Then we have a control tool, Yugioh the Absolute Zero Mayakashi, which has one of the funniest wordings in all of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is, you can use this effect up to twice per turn. It's one of the few cards in the game that has a restriction that you can use it 2 times in a turn. But regardless, Yugioh negates all the effects of banished monsters our opponent controls, and if a monster is special summoned from the graveyard, or a monster effect is activated in the graveyard, we can target one other face-up monster on the field, change its attack to 0, and then negate the effect twice per turn. It's really, really good, honestly. If you manage to bring this out, which we can do on most boards, it's great. We then have Avendred Savior, which the only thing we do for this is during damage calc, we can send a zombie monster from our deck to the graveyard, and our opponent's monster loses attack equal to the level of the sent monster times 200. We can send Eldlich off of this. Eldlich is a level 11. 11 times 2 is 2200 attack. Yeah, it's quite a good card for that sense. It's not often we'll summon this, but when we do, Crystal Firebracks for combo purposes, IP Masquerena for combo purposes, Predapent Verti Anaconda for obvious reasons, considering we're playing both Super Polymerization and Red Eyes Fusion. Vampire Sucker is one of the main cards we have on our board, because whenever something is special summoned from our graveyard, we get to draw a card. This also allows us to combo with Doom King Beledrock as it comes back during the standby phase of every turn as long as we have a field spell. And then finally, Relinquished Anima. The only reason we're playing this is to link off Glow Up Bloom to trigger its effect to summon Beledrock. This is going to be a hell of an interesting time. Eldlich hasn't seen real relevance, I would say, for quite a while, but I love the Golden Man. So let's bring some gold to people. Going up against Laser Cat. I will say, I honestly love that name, and we get hit with a Dimension Shifter immediately, so we're gonna do the traditional T-set pass here. You are free to do as ever you wish with that D-Shifter. I don't quite like that, but we'll just set to and pass then. Starting D-Shifter is scary because we do interact a lot with the graveyard. It's Flaunderies! Okay. That's not good. This is the thing that lets them tribute cards we control to summon Flaunderies, which is annoying. We can break this during the end phase, though, using Eldlich and Conquistador here, which we might actually do. Gonna go for the Robina here, which we are just gonna Ash Blossom immediately. Which basically ends their turn, I would guess. It does. So we're gonna fire Conquistador and Eldlich here. Summoning the Eldlich from our deck. Summoning the Conquistador, which is going to destroy the Flaunderies to banish it. We want it gone. Unfortunately, our hand after this is not that great. I'm gonna be honest with you there, Chief. We could normal summon the Ash Blossom here to get a tuner, but we don't have any way of getting into our real playmaker here. We could go Savior. Savior attack. Actually, yeah, that's not a terrible idea. That's actually kind of an okay idea. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go for Avendred Savior here. Actually getting a chance to show this card, which is really funny if it actually goes through here. We're gonna go for the Avendred. We're gonna go to battle. We're gonna hope that he doesn't have any shenanigans. He might. Alright, we're gonna attack in here. Then, during damage calculation, we're going to activate the effect, and we're going to send a Necroworld Banshee. This is, of course, going to destroy the Flaunderies. But that's not necessarily what we care about here. What we care about is what we can do with this. So we're going to activate Necroworld Banshee, which hopefully is not going to get hit, and we're going to get a Zombie World on the board. Zombie World turns everything in the graveyard and on the field to zombies. We're going to go for the Ash Blossom. And with this, we are going to be able to make Halki Firebrax. Halki Firebrax can activate its effect, hopefully. He's still holding something. It's an Imperm! Darn, that's really unlucky. That's really unlucky. Okay, we'll just end phase on that then. I probably should have known that's what it was, but we'll go for a Conquistador. We'll go for an Eldlich here. Damn, that's unfortunate. Really unlucky. And he scoops them up, because guess what? He can only do winged beasts. What we wanted to do here was use the effect of Necroworld Banshee in order to get Zombie World onto the board. We would have Halki Firebrexed for a Glow-Up Bloom, sacked both of them for a Vampire Sucker, and then summoned a Balladrock from the deck. But we don't need to do that, because apparently we're just going to take the win anyway, so let's go to game number 2. Ah yes, Wolf Reindew 19. How very nice of you to show up on this marvelous day of us playing Total Bricks, apparently. Darn, this is kind of not a great one. We're gonna normal summon the Solitaire. This is why we play Solitaire, sacking it off in order to summon a Unizombie. We're gonna activate the Unizombie. No, we're gonna do this first. We're gonna activate this. This is going to be a really bad play, to be honest, but we're going to go for the Necroworld Banshee. We're going to activate the Necroworld Banshee, which is going to make a Zombie World. We're then going to activate Unizombie again, targeting this and throwing the Glow-Up Bloom. Now, Glow-Up Bloom is going to get its effect to summon a Balladrock. So far, so good. I mean, this isn't terrible. It's just not very good. We have no reason to go into Halki Firebrexed now, so we're just going to set up the Vampire Sucker, set ourselves 2 card, and pass turn. It's not great, but we opened the brick, so, you know. Now, during the standby phase, Balladrock is, of course, going to summon itself back to the field, which is going to trigger the Vampire Sucker, allowing us to draw a card, and we draw into Red Eye's Fusion. Interesting. We have a Conquistador set, which doesn't do anything for us, unfortunately, because we don't have an Eldlich available to us. But we, at the very least, have 2 interactions on Balladrock. We have a Zombie World up. Oh, it's Madolche! I know exactly what Madolche does. I play this deck. We are ashing this. We can do better, probably. Do we want to banish this? We can lock him into Madolche, and then have him do nothing. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to chain Balladrock, we're going to banish a monster from the field or graveyard, and I'm going to banish the Pending Successor. Because I know exactly what this deck does. If he has another one to normal summon, that's fine, because we do have an Ash and the Doom King Balladrock effect to negate whatever he attempts to do. Because most likely he's going to attempt to use Queen Tiara Misu here. If he actually activates Angeli, I am hitting the Ash Blossom effect. We're gonna Ash that. You're not getting anything, sir. You're gonna bring a hoot cake out with that, and I don't enjoy it. Okay. Well, there is the Messenger Lotto normal summon, which I kind of expected. Pot of Desires is fine. You've used basically all your effects here, so unless you draw into a Salon, I should be good. It should also be noted that Messenger Lotto cannot activate its effect this game because there is no face-up Beast Madolche card. They are all zombies. Doing nothing on their turn, which seems just about right for me, honestly. We are just going to go ahead and swap this to attack position. I don't think there's a lot of playmakers he's able to do here. Alright, let's do Red Eye's Fusion. See if he has the Ash Blossom for it. If he doesn't... Oh, actually, even if he does, I have a Doom King Balladrock, so I can negate it. Balladrock is such a stupid fucking card. Yep, there he is. Dragoon is entering the board. We're just going to use the effect and win the game here. That is going to trigger Messenger Lotto. It's going to shuffle itself back into the deck. We do not care in the slightest. And with that, that is another victory for Zombinos. Zombies are scary. Like, don't mess with them. They will end the game, just like this. Good game, Madolche. Unfortunately, you can't use Hootcake. And, actually, no, you could use Hootcake. You can't use Messenger Lotto under Zombie World, so your combo is kinda dead. It's also kinda dead if you have to play through 4 interactions, which is why your deck doesn't really work right now and needs support. Seriously, Konami, please give us Madolche support. Please! Just give us another way to special summon a level 4. That'd be great. Anyways, let's go to game 3. Alright, game number 3 against Cathris, and it looks like we're actually gonna have to go second for one game, which is worse. Our starting hand is also the definition of worse. We do have a Cursed Eldland to activate, though, which is at the very least something. We're gonna go up against Secrets of Dark Magic, which looks to be Dark Magicians. Yes, it is. Now, if you were on stream last week, we actually realized that Dark Magicians have a very nasty play with Dark Burning Magic that is really crazy. So, hey, that's a thing if you want to do that. Dark Magicians is actually really annoying. We're gonna have to give him a card for free here no matter what we do, so we're just gonna go for the Eldland and get him the card activation from Dark Magicians. Which he... yeah, there it is, okay. I was gonna say, I know he gets to draw a card for it. We're gonna go for the Eldland activation. And we're gonna search ourselves Eldlich the Golden Lord, the boy himself. We're gonna activate it, pitching the Elixir to destroy the Dark Magicians, which is going to bring back the other two. I believe. That's how that works, right? Oh, it's if it's destroyed, but this just sends, doesn't it? Send one. Wait, is it? Send this card. Target one card on the field. Send it to the graveyard. Yeah, it is. Holy shit. Okay, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. Alright, we'll get rid of the Eldland here. We'll special summon ourselves the Eldlich, the big boy himself. We'll activate Eldland from our graveyard in order to draw into... I'm going to say Hakero here. Or not Hakero, we're going to throw a Hakero, yeah. Because we want to set out a Hakero to get rid of other stuff. We'll go for the Solitaire. We do have one more Unizombie in our deck, so we may as well search it out. This brings out Unizombie, who would have guessed? We're going to activate Unizombie to send a monster to the graveyard. We're going to send Necroworld Banshee because we need to, because we don't have any other way of getting into our zombie world this time. So we'll go ahead and do that. Everything's now a Zambino. We'll activate the effect again here to pitch a Doom King Baladrock, just so we have a negate ready. We're going to go ahead and we're going to give him a good old boop the snoot. The snoot drooped, and snooted they have been. We'll go to main 2. We're going to go ahead and we're actually going to make Vampire Sucker, just straight out the bat here. We're then going to activate Sanguine. We're going to set a Conquistador, just to have it ready, because we are going to get to draw a card here. It becomes it's on a special summon, draw a card. I don't necessarily want to give him a summon, even if it does give me a card here. I don't think I care enough. We'll just pass turn. During the end phase, we'll activate Hakira. This will set Scarlet Sanguine. And now we also have an Eldlich pop ready. Then, of course, during the standby phase, we're going to activate Doom King Baladrock. That's going to summon the Baladrock. We're going to get a Vampire Sucker trigger to draw an extra card, because, yes. We get a Hakero. Not great, but doable. Terraforming is going to be activated, so most likely they're going to be searching the Dark Magician field spell, which is Magician's Salvation. Yep, there's Salvation. I think Salvation is honestly fine. Because even if he does manage to special summon something, we will just destroy it immediately, right? Yeah. So he's going to summon a Dark Magician from hand or graveyard. Okay, nice. That's going to trigger Salvation, which is A-okay. And with that, we are going to trigger the Conquistador, and we're going to trigger the Scarlet Sanguine, bringing up an Eldlich, bringing up a Conquistador, activating Conquistador to destroy Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul will wipe the board, and that should be good game. That is good game. Look at this. Why are people not playing zombies more? They're so good. You know what? This went so fast. Let's throw in one bonus game, just because I'm having a lot of fun. And a bonus game it is. We are yet again going to have to go second here. We've yet to see our Super Poly at any point, which is kind of disappointing, honestly. I wanted to play some Super Poly shenanigans, but hey, I guess we don't need to. Zombies are just good enough. S-Force Showdown. Now that's a card archetype I haven't seen in a while. If this card is not a special summon, you can special summon one S-Force monster from your hand attack position. I refuse. I don't want you to spam the board. S-Forge Bridgehead. Add an S-Forge monster from your deck to your hand. I say no. You will be doing no such thing, sir. Orifist. Cannot target monsters in the same column as your S-Force monsters with card effects. Interesting. Going for the Splash Mage. Oh, they're all Cyberses. That's really cool. I didn't know they were all Cyberses. I thought they were warriors. That's kind of neat, actually. S-Force has like really cool artwork. They're like in the Cosmo land or whatever you're gonna call it, Cosmo Future. Bringing back the Razor. He's gonna be able to make an access code going first if he wants. I don't see the reason for him doing that though. Vector Scare Archfiend. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by benefits to the graveyard, contribute a monster your opponent opposed to special summon the monster. Okay. If you special summon to your opponent's field by this effect, you can make a second attack. Oh, we drew Super Poly. Neat. Alright, let's go for the Solitaire. We'll activate Solitaire, sack it off, bring out our Unizombie. Unizombie effect to target a monster on the field. Discard a card. We're gonna discard our Hakero here so we can bring out an Eldlich as fast as we can. Activate the second effect, of course. Now it becomes really funky because we kind of need to get into something and we have nothing available to us. So the option would be to throw Mizuki. That would special summon back Solitaire, allowing us to do some shenanigans. I think that's the best thing we can do. We're going to throw this. We're going to use the effect of this to bring back the Solitaire. Because, again, we don't have that many options right now, and we just kind of need to get somewhere. We can go for the Savior, which realistically does a lot, actually. It's either Savior or Verte. Verte's okay, but Savior is more interesting. I don't know on this one, Chief. This one's hard. Because this can throw an Eldlich, which gives us an Eldlich, but nothing else. This can do the same thing, kinda, but fails to special summon anything. No, we go for the safe bet. I think that's what we do. We'll just activate this. You know the usual. We'll make the Dune. We'll be boring. We'll blow him up. Yep, okay, well that's kind of what I expected to happen, to be honest. I didn't expect him to be able to beat Dragoon at all. We didn't even use zombies that time, which is unfortunate, but that sort of shows you the bricking potential that zombies have. Maybe I'm missing something. I probably am, let's be honest. I'm not a zombie player, but goddammit if this deck isn't fun. Let's wrap it up. So, what do we think about zombies? To be honest, zombies has always been a pet peeve deck of mine because if Sealed Only Sunday has shown anything, beating zombies is really fucking difficult because a lot of decks require you to have very specific materials. Good luck playing Earth Machine against Zombie World because nothing's an Earth Machine anymore. They're Earth Zombies. It's super, super debilitating that one field spell can do this much. It's almost a one-sided Mystic Mine. Almost. We do sort of suffer from the whole if Solitaire or Unizombie gets hit with negation, which we actually didn't have happen today, we're not gonna win. Our turn basically ends at that point unless we've drawn very, very specifically, like, I don't know, Eldlich in hand. But it's still really, really fun. I also didn't get to show off the rivalry of Warlord's Lock, which is unfortunate because that's another fun thing this deck can do, but I digress. If you enjoyed this episode, do remember to click the subscribe button down below, leave a like for the algorithm, and as always, remember to stay safe out there.